It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's great to see everybody back for another TGI Friday. Keith here with Gary.
Hey.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Fred. Hey, boo-boo.
The main man from up north. Justice Siegel.
Caca.
Oh, man.
Wow. Deleted scenes. How are you, man?
Yes, sir. Surviving.
Coat.
Unlike the Batgirl movie.
And here we go. Look.
And then it begins.
Yes.
Come on, Keith. Honestly, I think if Batgirl roamed around the U.S. in body armor and had a shotgun like Ezra is right now, he'd be a lot more protected.
You know what? Since we started this show, I gotta say, we've seen Warner Brothers have a lot of ups and downs, and in recent years, there's been a lot more downs as far as I'm concerned. And in the last 4 months, we've seen so much happen at Warner Brothers because of David Zaslav.
It really started after Alan Horn left.
You're right. You are right.
Yeah. Once they wanted to get rid of Alan Horn and bring in young people, everything started falling apart.
Yeah, started falling apart. But I mean, getting better since Zaslav came back.
Oh, yes, since Zaslav.
Since he's been here running everything. 4 months, he has done not only an amazing job with Warner Brothers Discovery, but really in Hollywood in general. It's like he has awakened something that actually slides into a lot of the things that we've been talking about over the last couple of years, especially amongst those who are a little more WOKE. And now we have the earnings call, which again, the whole news about Batgirl, well-timed because the earnings call was yesterday.
And they needed to do this right now because between now and the end of the month, this none of this counts as an actual loss for Zaslav.
That's right.
And so it's going to end up here. I'll put us back to normal size here. It won't show up as a financial loss. So
yes.
This is his magic twilight time to fucking gank these motherfuckers. And of course, the big thing about this is the hilarity of fucking Kevin Feige reaching out to them going, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel for you." And don't forget, when you're watching our show, Keith is judging you. Just remember that shit, motherfuckers. Hey, it looks like we got everybody here. Let me say hi to them for us real quick. We've got Gap After Dark was already here. They were here early. Thanks, Gap. Gap, of course, is the Gap formerly known as Gap Stargate, but now he's just Gap After Dark, which I'm not sure what the fuck that's supposed to mean other than maybe they're a little more loosey-goosey. I don't know. Kingsport Cal is here, good friend of ours. Deleted Scenes is in the show and in the chat. And I will tell you, from personal experience, he talks more in the chat than he does on the show. Our good friend John is back, Das Wolfen. Now, with Das Wolfen, I have this for you. I added this to the show just for you.
Before we begin, would you like to touch my monkey?
There you go. Bye, forgetting. The Marshal is here. Sox Bulletin is here. Look, all of you guys are so supportive of our channel, but I always want to point out that Sox really promotes the shit out of our show.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for Sox doing that. And I don't expect everybody to do that, but man, he goes beyond the call of duty.
Yeah.
Oh, I said duty. Anyway, our good friend Zax is here. Yeah, no snake can keep Gary down. That's right.
Only the back door.
Let's see. Bill Barkley is here. He was with us. A lot of you guys were with us this morning. Of course, Christopher Moonlight is a very good friend of mine in real life. And yeah, and I was going to ask if you wanted to join us today. You're more than welcome. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you. Well, I think you're added to the group. So the link is in the group, the TGIF group. But you're working on your film right now. I get you. Don't worry about it, buddy. Oh, yes, you just woke up from your little nap. And, you know, for her, I have this one special video that Fat Steven originally put on here, but I keep it just for her.
This town needs an enema.
I did, however, share a lovely video of Grace Randolph summing up the survivability of Batgirl.
Oh, fuck, I got to see this. Where's it at?
It's in the bottom. Just look.
I see it now.
Sorry, it has an intro, right?
Welcome to the DCEU, Leslie Grace. I hope you survived the experience. It's been tricky for a lot of people. Wow. 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 Wow.
Pause it. Pause it.
Wow.
I swear to God, nobody has. I just ate a lemon face like her. She looked like she just took a spoonful of alum powder.
Hold on,
her face is so twisted.
You wanted that? That's the Instagram post on their wedding day. That's when they canceled Batgirl, right?
Ooh. I know, on their wedding day. Look, man. Fucking Zaslav's fucking tough hombre, man. He doesn't fuck around.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see, here's our thumbnail for the show today. I'll put it up on the screen as soon as it loads. But go ahead and finish the video.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
And just when I thought August might be a slow month. Wow.
Wow, Grace. Wow. I can talk out of the side of my face, too.
I swear to God, she's like the moving stroke.
You know, here's the thing. As you know, Gary had said before, this was pretty much done because it was just going to be easier to go ahead and shelve it now without really having it to end up costing Warner Brothers and Zaslav anything. And ultimately, we found out that really a lot of this just comes down to The Flash and the problems with that film. And the fact that Batgirl as a story, if you know what the story is, its existence is owed to the fact of the Flash. Without the Flash, that entire film doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything. So it's like a house of cards, you know, or really a dominoes, really. Everything's fallen. And so Batgirl, whether good, bad, whatever, the story makes no sense because it was all of that stuff was created to get rid of the SnyderVerse. So if the SnyderVerse still exists, the Flash makes no sense, which means Batgirl and Supergirl were going to make no sense. Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, because Supergirl's the single standalone project for Supergirl got shelved as well as a pretense. We're seeing HBO is eventually going to be changing their names because they're going to make it under one streaming force. Names like HBO Max is going to be something else.
Mm-hmm. And following the patterns, it also means that anything JJ was set up to do is gone.
Yeah. DC also dropped the comics, so it's no longer Detective Comics. It's just DC, which is a little more of a brand thing because now you got DC and Marvel, which is a lot more communicated with how audiences and fans already call the comics. Mm-hmm. Well, besides pandering number one and pandering number two mainstream, that's, yeah.
Well, depending on the day and how it does on Twitter, it's either DC and Marvel or Marvel and DC. Take your pick. Mm-hmm. Look, all of this we say to say this. It looks like Zaslav and Warner Brothers are picking a fine time to correct everything wrong with DC as Marvel begins to basically go down that long and winding road to Crapville. So,
Disney.
I'm sorry, Disney.
Right.
And sorry.
No, I was just going to say, this is going to have a huge impact across the board with other studios.
Oh, yeah. Right now, it's looking more and more like Zaslav is going to achieve what he's been attempting to do since he's taken over, which is basically cut enough stuff to save about $3 billion. And a lot of that comes out of the situation with HBO Max. When you have two separate divisions dealing with the same content, same shows, except one is HBO and the other is HBO Max, you're basically paying two separate divisions that are doing the same job. Well, of course, you're going to want to get rid of a lot of the jobs and the people that you really don't need anymore. And again, Zaslav talked about this back when he was taking control. None of what has happened is a surprise.
No.
Zaslav does not do surprises. Zaslav is like that 80s action hero that says, I'm going to take this foot and put it on that side of your face.
Yeah.
He's telling you exactly what he's going to do, and then he does it.
He's Peter Griffin redoing the Roadhouse joke and just roadhousing everybody. That's exactly what he's doing.
He's Babe Ruth pointing out to left field.
Yeah, and Ezra in general. Wait, sorry, Gary, you were in pause again.
I wasn't pausing.
Okay.
Paused. I was talking.
Sorry.
And you started to talk right over me as I was talking, so I stopped. So,
hello, Marcus.
Oh, Marcus, yeah, what's up? And Zach's is in the chat. We should probably invite Zach's. Is he not in our group?
I don't know.
Kyle, are you not in our group? I thought he's in our group. TGIF. Go look this up. While I'm doing this, I'm going to show the thumbnail. I uploaded it so we can show it off. The Terminator. Zaslav keeps throwing out trash while Feige sends condolences.
That's God, amazing.
Feige looks like such a fucking pussy doing that. He really does.
On top of that, you owe a lot of post-production houses, visual effects houses, money. I mean, what are you doing, dude? I mean, again, I like you, Kevin Feige. I do, but seriously, I mean,
he's lost a lot of street cred over the last couple years because of what he's done with Phase 4.
Well, if your knowledge of Marvel only extends back to the 1980s, of course he's going to continue to make mistakes.
Didn't Simu Lee also take a pot shot at it as well?
I don't know what to say about that, dude. I hear he's from Canada originally.
Oh, okay. So. I'm sorry to inform you guys that Disney has decided to scrap the Shang-Chi holiday special due to quality control concerns. I had already filmed the entire thing. I even designed an all gingerbread tallow. Rip Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Teen Golden Rings. So,
wow,
that dude is a total asshat.
Yeah, he is.
And by the way, Kyle, Zach's, the problem is with Ezra Miller, his career's over. When the Business Insider wrote that fucking article that they released, either yesterday or today, where they described that he's running a cult, and I think it's an offshoot of, I don't want to say the name of the cult because they're fucking dangerous people. Even I don't want to fuck with them. Because you don't know where they are. They're in government. They're in businesses. They're in entertainment industry. There are music artists that you guys probably listen to and like. When you see them doing specific gestures, covering their eyes, they're telling you that they're part of that cult. It's part of the sign for being in that cult is to do that. And he was part of that cult, and now he's done this offshoot. And so once again, like Steve and I talked about this weeks ago, that the grooming that they keep talking about with Ezra isn't sexual grooming. It's not much better. It's psychological grooming. with these young people, and but he's putting people's lives at risk. In that article by I just forgot the name of the magazine again, but Business Insider. The article in there, they talk about the 1-year-old child at his house picked up a live round, and put it in its mouth. He had shit just sitting around for a child like that, a toddler. Not even a toddler, babe. This is a baby that's probably scooting around on their butt because they don't know how to walk yet. So it's just his career is over. There's no coming back from this damage that he's brought upon himself. This is all him.
And that gets us to the reports of Michael Keaton being not happy.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed to talk about it when it first came out. We were allowed to talk what Zaslav did, where he was raging through the offices looking for Toby. And people were hiding in their fucking offices when it happened. It was the day that second arrest took place.
Yep.
And he had already moved on. A lot of people didn't know this, that he's got an office there at Warner Brothers now. He's there. And he's terrifying, apparently. When he's fucking angry, people just want to avoid him. Especially woke motherfuckers. They're like, I want to keep my job. I don't want to quit.
I have a question, because I do have a clip of supposed Ezra's weapon collection if you want me to share it.
Sure. But basically, the thing that we were told not to talk about was Michael Keaton's anger over
there you go.
What Ezra did. His anger was not directed at Zaslav, and it's still not. From what we're hearing, he's not mad at Zaslav. He's angry at the clown table, and he's angry at Ezra Miller because he had a deal, and the deal fell through because of what Ezra did and what Hamada, Emmerich, and Sarnoff did.
Okay. So I'm seeing this footage here for the first time. What is that from?
That is one of the locations he hung out with, and that's all their weapon collections. You can tell by the Harry Potter ones and stuff. I
guarantee you that the FBI are in on this because of the ATF. If he's doing this shit, building a stockpile of weapons, that is something that the ATF and the FBI look at. Agreed, they shouldn't be. It's like, why? Until somebody actually presents themselves as a threat, you shouldn't be investigating just for buying guns. But that's how they operate, because they're, and again, I'm going to blame them. They're the reasons why David Koresh and his followers are dead. They're dead because of the FBI, not because of David Koresh.
Oh, for sure.
Deleted with those clips. I have clips I haven't even uploaded to my channel. Like I have that clip that probably a lot of people.
Yeah, Freemasons aren't a cult.
I also have the clip of someone uploading Ezra Miller's actual cell phone number, and I have his cell phone number and the voicemail answering, which was I had to report and get deleted off Twitter, but I do have the video of that too. So this person, the stalker Lauren Wren that keeps flopping sides with the whole Iron Eyes stuff, is the one leaking all these clips because she's been stalking Ezra forever to the point that it's mentally unstable. So you've got to be careful with those kinds.
Well, I think everybody around him is probably unstable. By the way, hello, Kyla. Good to see you, my friend.
This shows that most definitely that
and it's not the Masons. I'm sorry, I got to address that. Freemasons are not a cult. They're weird because of their secretive stuff. But then again, I found out so are the Knights of Columbus. They have a secret thing. I became a member of the Knights. In fact, I hit a specific number, and they wanted to fly me out for something. And I'm like, I'm raising a kid. Seriously, they got mad at me because I can't just leave my kid. I'm like, no, I'm not going to come out to DC for some special event because I was the 3 millionth member of the Knights of Columbus. I don't fucking care about that. Well, who cares about shit like that? I don't. But they have a secretive thing, and honestly, the Knights of Columbus came about because of the Masons, because too many Catholics were becoming Masons, and so the Catholic Church says we need to create our own group, and that's what they did, Knights of Columbus. But they're not a cult; they're just secretive. They're weird, secretive, but nonetheless. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh my God, no! Watchtower that no.
I don't give a shit. Fuck them. I've actually pranked people from the Jehovah's Witness cult. I dislike them. Mormons I like. They're nice people. They're weird, but they're nice. Jehovah's Witnesses, man, that whole fucking thing is creepy. And what I did was I pretended to bring snakes into one of their houses of worship as a delivery person. And I came in telling them, and I walked in like not knowing what's going on. He had a full congregation. And I said, hey, I'm here to deliver snakes to a Pentecostal church. Am I in the wrong church? And he starts talking to me, and I set the box down. When I did, the cardboard flap opened on purpose. And this is way back before we had video, because I wish we had done that, because it was 3 of us that pulled the prank off. And at the end of it, I went to grab the box. I apologized, had him sign a document saying that I would leave. And then when I looked down and saw the box was open, I opened it more, and I did just like this one. And then I just started looking around the room.
Sorry.
I'm going to tell you something. Growing up in the South, every black person I knew didn't like snakes. And that room was full of a lot of black ladies. I've never seen hysterics like that when they went up on their fucking chairs. No shit. That was so fucking funny. And then I said, I'll be back. Where are you going? They were in a panic. I said, I'm going to call animal control. And I just left. I left him with that disaster.
Gary, you've heard stories of my ex, right? The 6 years one, the crazy one. She was Jehovah's. Her mom was crazy about all that crap. And it's no joke. You can't do anything but deal with people within the watchtower and all that stuff. They were very serious about that shit to the point where you couldn't do anything.
Oh, yeah, I get you. And by the way, I know what you're talking about. No, there's a specific checkerboard pattern that they use. And there was a recent, I think it was a hip hop record that had the checkerboard floor in the photo. And it is one of the things that's used as a symbol for this cult. And I will tell you that the name of the cult begins with the letter B. And I won't say the word. Andre and I have talked extensively on this stuff from Midnight's Edge. And he and I have come to the agreement. We're never going to talk about this cult publicly because they're scary. You know, have you ever seen the movie Race with the Devil with Peter Fonda? That's how scary they fucking are. If you don't know the movie I'm talking about, go watch it. Loretta Swit. What's his name? He played Sergeant Hulka. Drill Sergeant Hulka.
Warren Oates.
Warren Oates is in it. Yeah. Peter Fonda. That movie scared the shit out of me as a kid. And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with cults after that fucking movie. And it was a satanic cult, which this cult that I'm talking about is satanic in nature. But it's a specific angel demon that they are worshiping.
Well,
so I think Kylock probably knows what I'm talking about.
You know what? This is all of this stuff leads us right back.
Hi, rough girl.
Leads us right back to Ezra. And as one of the questions before, someone was asking, well, what's all this talk about Ezra mean in relation to what the subject is today? Well, again, Ezra Miller and his problems in reality may have helped to undo the control of woke people at Warner Brothers. His getting out of control led to a lot of the problems that they currently have with the Flash. Flash having problems means that Batgirl had problems, means that Supergirl doesn't get made, Batgirl gets shelved, and pretty much Ezra may have lost his role as Barry Allen, so he's going to get recast. So ultimately, it's a domino effect, really. This is another example of a bunch of people, in this case, people that are no longer with Warner Brothers, who, as Gary and I were saying all last year, were doing nothing but greenlighting projects left and right. rather than trying to put out any quality, they were going with the quantity, the number of films that they could get out there, and basically threw as much stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And unfortunately, none of this is going to stick. None of this. So this is a little bit of a speed bump for those of you who were hoping for something big out of Batgirl and Supergirl, but that doesn't mean you can't have that. And Grant Gustin's done. Why? Yep. Because Greg Berlanti, although he's still friends with David Zaslav, basically a lot of his projects are now no longer happening under Zaslav. So the entire Berlanti, i.e. Arrowverse, is now
dead.
Gone. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead.
Yeah, it's with the finale of this season. Hey, Rough Girl, I wanted to make sure you heard me say hi to you. And of course, another person just jumped in. You moved it, so I'm not seeing it. Adega Outlaw just jumped in. So Adega, how you doing? And the Marshal, don't regret joining the show. Come on. Come on, man. Joe Biden. Come on, man. Just sit back, relax, and let it penetrate.
Grant Gustin will not replace Ezra Miller. He's not well known. He's probably sick of the Flash after all this season's going with CW. They're going to need someone that can take the role.
The writing has been so awful for so many seasons.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be aware of how bad the writing is on that show.
Plus, on top of that, you have a young lady playing Iris, who you don't know if she has any chemistry with Grant Gustin at all. So how can you have him take over for Ezra? What that means, should she lose her job too? I mean, ultimately, they're going to have to make a decision as to what they want to do, if anything, about this. I mean, do you go ahead and just fire Ezra, film another movie? Well, there's that possibility. But you're going to have to, first of all, cast somebody to be Barry Allen. And second of all, personally, in my opinion, throw out the script, because it was written to do one thing, and they can't do that thing anymore, which is get rid of the SnyderVerse. That is not happening. So if that's not happening, you'll probably have to just rewrite that entire script. And for me, that's the number one thing behind the scenes that if I were Zaslav, I'm saying, look, find 3 or 4 good writers, get them all in a room, and see if they can produce a script in 2 weeks. That's what I would do. I mean, let's get on this, unless we're just going to take our time with it. In which case,
this is insanity.
Are you good, Gary?
This is crazy. Marcus just shared this with me on Twitter. So let me share this. This is fucking crazy. No way this is happening. Not with Zaslav feeling the way he is. But this is what they're saying over on the Wrap.
That's bullshit. I saw that this morning too.
Yeah, that's the Wrap. More people that have been bending over for years.
This is absolute garbage. Not true. Zaslav fucking hates Hamada. He actively hates him. It costs him a lot of fucking money.
And he's shown in his years in running in running DC, he has wasted so much money. Why would you give him another opportunity? Because in case, for those keeping score, this is the same Walter Hamada that said that Wonder Woman 84 and that Birds of Prey were going to be really good movies, and that they shouldn't really put any stock in this Joker movie, which then in those first 2 films not doing well, and in Joker making $1 billion, cost Warner Brothers basically a potential $1 billion, but that money went to someone else, and not to Warner Brothers or its shareholders. So thanks, Walter. And now he had this idea for the Flash film, and then for Batgirl, and then Supergirl. This is all him doing this. The script
Rough
is
Girl,
no
we
good.
already talked about the Joker this morning, but I don't mind going over it again. That is one of the reasons why Hamada is so disliked by Zaslav, because all that money that movie made, the Joker, it didn't go to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, a lot of that did not go.
They didn't support that film. They supported the films that tanked. And by the way, Zax, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Will any version of the Flash movie ever be released? I've heard the screenings have been good. HBO Max release. I'm telling you right now, he is leaning over the fence. He's on the fence. Zaslav's on the fence, but he's leaning towards shelving it. And if he shelves these films and shows, you will never see them because there's not big enough of a fan base to request seeing it. Yeah. Look, man, Miller destroyed his career, but he also destroyed the opportunity for this film to ever see the light of day by doing what he's doing. And Zaslav wanted to shelve it because that was his initial reaction. He wanted to when he was raging through the office that day, that was what he wanted to do, because that came out in some of the information that was coming out of the studio, was that he's talking shelving the film. But then things lightened up a little bit, and he hired Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca. And then there was this consideration of, maybe if he stays out of the fucking news and doing stupid shit, we could probably release this on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But with this latest article and more shit coming out every fucking day about Ezra Miller and his weird, and I mock any magazine that refers to him as them or they. First of all, grammar should matter before anything in journalism, always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can't refer to an individual as multiple people, because then it's followed by will or were, and if it's an individual, it's will do something, or they were doing something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you change that fucking word, it fucks up the language. And journalism's gone to shit because these fucking guys that are out there are hacks. I mean, that's why it was so easy to fucking destroy CNN when Zaslav fired everybody. He went there and just cleaned house and just started bringing in new people. We're done. He fired his best buddy, the guy he golfs with. It's his best golf buddy. Fired him.
And now he's undone
this
everything.
Film will never see the light of day, Zax. I'm telling you, that is a check I will sign and hand to you and tell you to take it to the bank. Because if he shelves it, it's not moratorium. That thing has gone into a dark, dark vault at the very bottom of the studio.
At this point,
see the light of day.
At this point, now that the story has been written and a lot more people understand what Ezra Miller has been doing, could you actually release that film? I mean, seriously, do you not see that that's actually a bad thing? You're not gonna make any money, and any lawsuits. That means Zaslav would be basically putting Warner Brothers in position to get sued.
Yeah.
If someone decided to blame them for something.
Yeah. It's like it's just a bad idea, and I've never even considered the legal aspect of it, but you're right. But let's go with this for you, Zax. I've got a new video, and this one is really probably how Zaslav feels when he's trying to talk to Toby and Sarnoff and fucking Walter Hamada.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
That's true.
And that's your thank you video. Thank you, my friend. And again, the answer is no. If he shelves that film, it'll never see the light of day. It'll never come out.
And
there's not enough signatures. There's not enough signatures for AT&T.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Rough Girl. Wow, $9.99.
No, he wanted to replace all of the main characters with females. That was what he was doing. Batgirl and Supergirl were there to replace Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. And it just completely backfired on him. Well, thank you, Rough Girl, for a $9.99 super chat. Yes, please give me more Batman. I don't care who plays him. I just want more DC. Now, I will tell you, I think Zaslav would be crazy not to try to consider something with what's his name that played Batman in the 80s and early 90s.
Oh, Keaton. Yeah.
Keaton,
we talked about it this morning. Keaton, to me, if you really wanted to do something with Keaton, who was really the bait in this bait and switch, you could go ahead.
He was there to replace Ben Affleck.
Yeah. If you really wanted to keep him happy and do something that fans could really enjoy, make a Batman Beyond movie. Because for those that haven't that don't know, Keaton definitely signed up to do this. He loves the fans, but one thing he doesn't like are the suits. He doesn't like dressing up and all that stuff.
And if you didn't see the photo, I'll pull it up in a little bit. The bat suit that he's got, they gave him bigger titties than Batgirl.
The ultimately, if you put him in a Batman Beyond movie, he doesn't really have to get in the suit. So that's a plus. Everybody wins because he gets to reprise his role as Bruce Wayne, and he gets to be a part of the action and everything else, but he doesn't have to put on a suit.
And actually, that is acceptable to say it that way, Keith. Reprise, because that's how I said he reprised his role. But for your $9.99 super sticker, thank you so much, Rough Girl. You get this favorite moment of mine from The Thing.
You believe any of this voodoo bullshit, Blair? Charles, chariots of the gods, man. They practically own South America. I mean, they taught the Incas everything they know.
Boom, baby.
Now, what are the chances that Affleck's Batman movie with Deathstroke will happen now? Is that back on the table, or?
Yeah, but hold on. There's a twist to this entire thing that is actually kind of cool. At the earnings report, Zaslav talked about the 10-year plan that they have. The fact he kept mentioning the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Okay? So it has been speculated that there could be a massive realignment of these characters, meaning while we retain many of the actual characters that were seen in the SnyderVerse, we might have a little bit of a redo for Batman and Superman and maybe a few other characters to adjust them a little bit. Now, the reason why I think that this is true is that it goes along with something that Zack Snyder himself said before the release of the Snyder Cut, which is that due to the fact that he had let it out about what his plan was for those movies, what he wanted to do for Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, it's out there in the public now, okay? In his mind, that's kind of stupid to just go ahead and do that because the public now knows what you're aiming for. So he let it be known that he and Chris Terrio are writing a new story for 2 and 3. So wherever they left off from the Snyder Cut is not where they are going to end up for 2 and Justice League 3. You combine that with what Zaslav is talking about, and basically what we could see is one of the biggest complaints about Ben Affleck is that he's too old. They aged up his Bruce Wayne. Well, now you could see them age him down. That we could go ahead and have one Batman that's not as decrepit, have Robin alive, have the rest of the Bat family show up, do it that way, which is really what a lot of fans wanted, right? You then combine that with the Batman film and the fact that you have a director who didn't want Robert Pattinson. That was not his first choice. Okay? Robert Pat. Oh, here we go with the set. This is from Batgirl.
Look at that. What they did to his chest. It looks so fucking weird from the side. And that's the director, by the way.
Oh, it's one of the directors in the middle.
Oh, I thought that was the Joker.
It's Abdi. I think is his name. No, not Abdi. What Ari or whatever his name is. Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah.
He looks like they put Animal in the Matrix.
It's just what is with these fucking man boobs here? That is so bizarre looking.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, then what we could be looking at is a new way of presenting these characters outside of what we had seen with Snyder's version of their origin, or at least in the case with how they began with Man of Steel. We could see a slight readjustment for Henry Cavill and a slight readjustment for Ben Affleck. Now, with the Ben Affleck version, we're looking at probably, instead of just having all of this really dark and dour Batman, have him at the top of his game with the rest of the Bat family and going from there. Okay? So hopefully that helps a little bit deleted. We're looking at a lot of changes here. Mm-hmm. And the thing is because of what's going on, ironically, with Ezra Miller, it may lead to actually all of this happening. And again, as Gary and I have been saying, there is no guarantee that Snyder was going to stay beyond Justice League 2 and 3. There was absolutely no guarantee that he was going to stay. So really, bringing back the SnyderVerse in reality is bringing back the SnyderVerse characters. Mm-hmm. Okay? That does not mean that these characters have to be the way that we last saw them. They can be altered a little. So
yeah, I need to show you something here, Keith.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is our good friend Scott Lewis. He's in the chat right now from Facebook. There he is. The Bat Family movie would be cool. Good show. He's enjoying the show so far.
Cool.
They don't give us the names. They just say Facebook user here on the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Zaslav really does want to make money, and he loves the SnyderVerse. He really, really loves Henry Cavill. Okay? Those two things have never changed. You add in the fact that they have Alan Horn, who is really good friends with Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck. And the car that Ben Affleck drove in Batman v Superman, that actually belongs to Zack Snyder, who received that car as a present from Alan Horn. Then you have Michael DeLuca, who is also a fan of the SnyderVerse. And
he's
Zack
also a
Snyder.
big Jack Kirby fan.
That's right. This is not that hard to figure out, kids.
He's a real nerd, which is like when I heard about that, I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Everything that went into writing the Flash movie is gone now because of Ezra Miller. And because Ezra Miller flamed out so spectacularly, he pretty much took out the Hamadaverse by himself.
He really did.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically, yeah. And instead of having Hamada do it on his own, which he was on the road to doing that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
he wants quality. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, Stephen. Read what Val Zod said. It's right below you. Read it out loud. You read it.
All right. Zaslav wants quality, not just quantity. I agree. Yeah. I mean, because I think that's what's shooting Marvel down right now, is that they're so busy trying to make release dates that they don't think of making a good movie. They're doing everything too fast. And that's what happened here with DC is one movie is connected to another movie that's connected to another movie, and they're all fucked now because this idiot goes off and, joins a cult or whatever he did. One actor pulled the whole fucking Jenga tower down.
Well, he pulled down
And
the
now
Hamada
they have to
version of it.
rebuild. Oh yeah.
And it's not going to be as extensive as many people think. All it did was it kind of made Zaslav's task a little easier, because now he gets to rebuild the DCEU in the image that he thinks it deserves to be. And trust me, on the earnings call, you could tell Zaslav is a total fan of wanting to get this right. He is not screwing around. And this is his money now.
He's trying to get the right people in the right positions to get this to where it's quality and financially sustainable. I want to point out, welcome Mighty Max to the show. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, the Marshal. I am not a fan of Damian as a character. I don't like him. I never liked him. I like Jason and I like Dick Grayson. Those are the two Robins I liked. And I don't give two shits for any of the other Robins, the girl or Damian. You're welcome, my friend.
It'll be interesting to see how far they can go. And again, let me also let you in on this. Zaslav talks about how he wants to replicate what Kevin Feige did in the planning and early production of the MCU, meaning how he put together phases 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Welcome, Luciano Pereira. Greetings. Welcome to the show, my friend.
So what you have here then is someone who is committed to building this the right way, and it starts with having DC Studios. Because I know that's not a surprise. I know I've been saying it, for a couple months now. DC Studios is now a reality. And they will commit themselves to making sure that this version of what they are building, in my opinion, this is the third
that it'll last. Because that's what you want is the longevity. Adega Outlaw, welcome back to the show, my friend. And Memes of Destruction, buddy. How are you doing? We got to get him on the show. He's so fucking
cool. He's hilarious. He's so good. Let me also.
Oh shit! He heard me say it. Oh my god! Did he hear me say it? Oh my god! I hope he likes me. I hope he.
The last thing though, with a lot of this, let me at least just say that I think anyone that actually believes that between Alan Horn and James Gunn and all of the power that they have behind them with David Zaslav and everyone else working towards trying to create something, that you cannot lure certain creative talent from Disney, even if it is for one movie, in my opinion, you are mistaken. I can really see someone like Jon Favreau come over to DC to at least direct one movie. One. I can see, and remember, Patty Jenkins is making a Star Wars movie, kids. It's very possible to lure somebody over to the other side. So, you
hear the name Patty Jenkins, and it just automatically sounds like the part of a punchline of an Irish joke. I don't know why. Every time I hear the name Patty Jenkins, I think of Irish jokes. Damian Wayne for me makes sense with Batfleck. We still do not well, first of all, we know with Batfleck that was it Jason that got killed? Jason Todd got killed.
No, that was Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson? Yes. Okay. So Dick Grayson died while Robin. I thought that was Jason Todd for some reason.
I know, I
Death
did
in the
too.
Family.
But it turns out it was Dick Grayson. But hey, guess what? That doesn't matter anymore because, like I've been saying, everything can now be redone.
Well, they need to make it Jason because Dick needs to be, Nightwing.
Well, that's what they were talking about, a Nightwing movie for a long time, and Hamada.
Oh man, I think we all wanted that.
Oh yeah, which is part of the reason why some of us have been saying, why are you making a Batgirl movie and not a Nightwing movie? That was my whole thing. This, again, all of this is pointing to the fact that now is the time to go out and get very talented people. And trust me, Kevin Feige and the MCU, and I should say Marvel Studios, have been pushing certain creative talent away. There are creatives who do not want to work with the MCU. I mean, everybody respects the money and everything. But
well, a lot of it also comes from the fact that of the shift in the paradigm from going from MCU to becoming more MCU. Yes. And so it just pissed a lot of people off that they don't want to do that. They don't. And like Kathleen Kennedy, nobody wants to work with Star Wars. But somehow she got Patty Jenkins to agree. And it's true, Rough Girl. Yeah. Patty Jenkins is shooting Rogue One. Is that it? Or it's based on Rogue One.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, it's Rogue Squadron, and it was loosely based on the comics. From what I hear, they're kind of going to do their own story with different characters. Because I don't think Wedge is going to be in it, because Wedge was a major character in the comic book, and so it's hard to say. But here, Rough Girl, I'm going to put it in the chat, the link. There you go. You can actually go check out the article over on MovieWeb about it. I don't know if she's sidelined. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard, Keith?
No, I haven't heard.
I've heard nothing about her being sidelined.
It is conceivable that someone like Edgar Wright could then be lured to make a DC film. And it's conceivable that even the Russo brothers might even be lured to do something. Again, if you are a creative, especially if you're a creative who actually grew up with comic books, that's all Zaslav is thinking. If you're someone who loves comic books, you are a creative, think about coming over here. But don't think we're just going to slap something together. We're going to take our time with it. We're going to make sure that it's something that we can all be proud of. And that's really all we fans want. Solid entertainment, because we're spending a lot of money.
And when we have female characters, stop fucking changing and hiding the female form. Stop hiding it. You know, you don't mind showing the men. Don't put baggy fucking clothes on them. Stop doing that with the females. Let them show their figure.
Hey,
stop acting like you hate women that have big boobs.
Hey, Dos Wolf.
Seriously, they want all the women. They flatten the women's chests, and it's like, stop doing that. It's okay to look at the male form. It's okay to look at the female form. Stop being assholes. I'm so sick of woke people.
This is David Zaslav. Okay, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, that's not a part of what he's doing. He let it be known on the earnings call that it is about the quality of the project. Period. All this other stuff that you've seen, what you're describing, that's DC under the people who are now fired. Okay? This stuff that you're seeing...
Clown Table's gone. The only reason why Walter Hamada still has a job is because of a contract. But he's sitting in an office right now going, hey, guys, I'm still in here. Guys? Hello? It's got nothing to do. And that's bullshit on that fucking website, Marcus. I know you're watching. He never talks. I never see him talking to chat, but he's always he'll message me and shit. Marcus is a regular viewer for our show. I love the guy. He's get great comments on Twitter. But he was like, "What the fuck is all this?" You know. And he sent me that article. I said, "That's bullshit." And who is it? Oh my god, that one group. What is it? What are they called? Discussing film.
Hey, let me tell you. Let me tell you something, Marshall. About Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn is another one of these directors that likes to do what he wants to do. He does not work as a team player. Okay? I'm serious. He does not work well as a team player. Okay? Zaslav would only be willing to give Matthew Vaughn a Superman movie if he's a team player. But if all you're going to do is do what we've seen everyone else do on the other side, which is you're going to make your movie and you're going to spend time on Twitter making fun of the fans who don't agree with your vision. Yeah, we don't need that kind of stuff going on anymore. So if you're going to do that, you do not work for Warner Brothers.
Okay, so they can't see us, any of us right now, because I have this on the screen. I just wanted to show everybody, and it's been sitting up here because I didn't get a chance to fucking explain what this is. This is the thing that Marcus shared with me from discussing film. And when I see stuff like this, discussing film gets no respect from me for sharing this fucking article. They should be sharper than that. I mean, these are people that aren't paying attention to what's happening. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. And that's how you end up with sharing articles like this stupid article by The Wrap. The Wrap is still a shill group that is bought and paid for by the Toby Emmerich people at Warner. So therefore, they're going to keep posting this shit until finally Walter Hamada is released. He's still there, but he's not doing a fucking thing. He's got nothing to do.
He should just, just hang out, have lunch, have a pizza delivered, take a load off. Look, this entire thing is still going to take some time, but you now have the right people in place who have the authority to be able to go and help to start planning the new way that everything is going to be. Okay? I know there are a lot of people out here watching us, listening to us. A lot of you have been burned before who are DC fans. And guess what? Zaslav hears you. He understands. Okay? He is not about taking you for granted and telling you to F off in case you just don't like what they're going to produce. He wants you to love what they're going to do. Okay? So the only people that are going to be upset are those people that have a particular political point of view or social point of view that they are wanting to push forth. You're going to be kind of disappointed in the direction that Warner Brothers is headed. Now, speaking as someone who's a big fan and who knows what's in the IP and in the vaults, there are a lot of characters that a lot of you who probably skipped reading comics don't know about. So if you're really disappointed that they're not going to have a Batgirl of color or a Supergirl that makes you feel extra special, there are other characters who actually. Well,
I got to tell you, if you require that, you probably also need to get into therapy. If that's the thing you require to feel good about who you are, is to see your representation on screen. I've never needed it. Keith's never needed it. We both have gone across the color spectrum of being fans and loving things of people of other colors. We didn't require to be, and don't get me wrong, I am all for representation, but I think that it gets goofy when you do representation over telling a good story.
That's right.
Or doing honor to an original intellectual property. That's bullshit.
And then be
welcome,
dishonest
Stemmy,
enough
to the show. Nobody asked for a Batgirl movie anyway, and I'm sure it would have been woke garbage. Oh, it's going to be. I guarantee it. But welcome to the show, Scummy.
Well, look. I think we can all now look at what has transpired and try to think to ourselves what we would like to see. And I think that's really what David Zaslav and Michael DeLuca are looking at. Okay? They're trying to figure out which direction to go. Now, as of right now, The Flash is off the table. So that only leaves Shazam 2, Black Adam, for now, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2. J.J. Abrams is gone because that contract with him and all that money, that wasn't something to pay him up front. All that was meant upon delivery. Well, Zaslav is going through everything, every deal, every story. And anything that is not up to snuff, he's cutting, which is the reason why you're hearing more about J.J. Abrams' animated cartoon called Batman Cape Crusader. Okay, you're going to hear a lot about that. And the fact that it's an animated cartoon from Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, Bruce Timm, and of course, Ed, the Winter Soldier Brubaker. Okay, this is a project that Walter Hamada helped to push through. This is an example of some of the leftover Hamada stuff.
Hold on a second here, Bill. The way we understand it is that actually they had intended it to be a male.
Yeah.
And that change was made later, which is why the size doesn't make any sense in the film.
Yep.
Because it's clearly not a fucking woman. You know, just that was so weird that they did that, making Taskmaster last minute into a female. It's like
there's a lot of mistakes.
Fucking
a lot of mistakes in phase 4.
Yeah, they fucked her over on that film. They really did.
Yeah.
Marvel, Disney fucked her over.
Again, Black Widow in a movie. The first time you see Black Widow in the Avengers, that's not the kind of movie that you got with her individual film. That, what you saw, that's more like a Jason Bourne type of thing.
And by the way, we got to address this. We got to pay attention to the chat. I think Zaslav talked about the Flash yesterday and how they're fixing it. He was talking about it because that is one of the options that was still on the table.
That is
and I brought that up this morning, and I bring it up now. That was one of the options that was on the table. But what is going on is Alan Horn whispered in his ear that there may be no way to save this film.
Okay.
Because Ezra is a continuous, ongoing, non-ending fucking problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, I said it before, there was a third option. Mikey Sutton kept saying 2 options. And I went, no, there is a third. And if you think that's off the table, you're wrong. Because reshooting for $100 million and removing him completely from the film is absolutely doable. Now, we know that they spent probably around 25 doing reshoots. They removed Michael Keaton completely from the film, and they started reshooting with Ben Affleck. But then more shit, that new article that just came out has Zaslav now on the fence again because of suggestions clearly from Alan Horn that we may have to shelve this. And if they shelve it, there will never, ever be a release date for that film. If Zaslav shelves that, it's not going into moratorium. It's going into a vault, never to be opened again.
Yeah.
Never to see the light of day.
Well,
because it's that the situation is that bad for Warner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what he is talking about now, and he did talk about this, and this is part of what Mikey Sutton was talking about, is that he is interested in completely reshooting it. But that means from going to scratch and working on writing a new script. So you're talking about something that's probably a year to 2 years out from here. You know, that's the reality of what we're dealing with the Flash.
And on top of that, since they're not going to have the Batgirl and Supergirl, they will alter this script to fit the new way that they are moving forward with the SnyderVerse. Remember, this film was written under Walter Hamada getting the filmmakers to undo or get rid of the SnyderVerse. Since the SnyderVerse is now officially a part of what David Zaslav wants to do, that part of the script has changed. No matter what we see in the future from any version of the Flash, that has not changed. So, I don't know what to tell you if you're someone that's looking for a way to get the Batgirl movie released. And again, I don't think you're ever really going to see it until well after all this other stuff has been done. And then if they decide to put it on HBO, it's not going to make any sense with the way that everything
it won't be related
right
to
now.
anything. So it's like, what is the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
And him pulling it is telling you what the problem is. He wants quality filmmaking, and these are subpar films. that Hamada pushed.
Mm-hmm.
These are subpar. We're going to see an absolute failure of this Game of Thrones prequel if they don't fucking do something to fix it. Because Ann Sarnoff doomed that show.
Yeah.
Doomed it, Brian. Doomed. Because she put woke fucking shit in it everywhere. The storytelling, it's in the casting, it's everywhere.
Well, Rough Girl, you're right. A Supergirl movie could be good, but there's no reason to use the actress that is actually in the Flash movie. If you're going to change the outcome, there's no reason then to have a new version of Supergirl.
Yeah,
any version
is coming. By the way, guys, just be prepared for it. Zach's going to be allowed to finish what he started. That is coming. It's going to happen.
But it's just going to be different than what we heard. Remember, a lot of us who have been paying attention know the story. We know the story for Justice League 2 and 3. Well, because we know that story, Zach is going to change it. So we're not getting what we heard. Okay? Now, as to what that actually is, I can't tell you. I'm not Zack Snyder. But he's on this. Okay? He's planning out something. And for those of you who want to see like Green Lantern, guess what? If you've heard some of the things about what Zack Snyder's been saying about Green Lantern, you know that Jon Stewart was not his original first choice. He wanted Green Lantern in there, and he was going to get Ryan Reynolds to reprise the role to be a part of all this. He only chose Jon Stewart because, again, guess what? Comic book fan. So I would not be surprised if everybody showed up in the next movie. That's what I'm speculating. We're not just going to get Hal Jordan.
Hey, Polly's joining us. He wants to join.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads up, Polly.
Don't be surprised if we get both Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and a lot of other known Green Lanterns in this film. If Zack Snyder decides to go that direction. So this is actually good news. I know a lot of you are like, trust me, this is really good news. David Zaslav has changed the game in 4 months, not just for Warner Brothers, really for Hollywood. He is providing a roadmap to how to do some of this. So we may have a shot at getting a lot of comic book accurate characters, meaning that milestone is an option to develop the milestone characters and all of that stuff, which Hamada should have been doing in the first place. We should have had Steel. We should have had Icon. We should have had Static. And if a lot of those people that were telling us that they were interested in having characters of color were actually doing what they were telling us, we would have had those characters by now. And we didn't. And there were no plans to bring them in. There were absolutely no plans to have Steel, Icon. There was talk of Static. But Hamada could have made that happen like that, and he didn't.
By the way, I shared that rap article with Mikey in our group. Keith, if you want to go look at his response.
Yeah, I see his response.
He's laughing his ass off because this is just so dumb. That is so dumb.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing worse than magazines that don't know how to do their fucking job.
I understand what you're saying, Bill. I'm talking about a real comic book accurate version of Steel and not the version that we got.
Yeah, that's what you and I talked about on this morning show is, you and I've talked about this so many times that, we're starving for a really good, you want to race switch Superman, just do a Steel story.
Or an Icon movie.
Or Icon.
And again,
I prefer Steel.
Or understand something. Michael B. Jordan already let it be known that he wants to be Icon. I mean, this is the part that I don't get it. This is what I would ask Walter Hamada if I could ask him anything. What about Michael B. Jordan saying that he wanted to be Icon did you not understand? How did that go from he's telling me to be Icon to you offering him the opportunity to be Black Clark Kent in J.J. Abrams' movie? I'm not following that whole connection there, you know. And I'm sure Zaslav asked the same thing, you know, and that's part of the reason why Hamada doesn't have a job anymore. Because when you are dealing with money, the amount of money that we're talking about for a lot of these projects, if your answer doesn't go beyond, I don't know, well, guess what? You know, you can't spend $100 million in a project and end up telling your boss, I don't know. Hey, Paulie.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. You, loud and clear, buddy.
Does it say Dirty Fit?
Yeah, Dirty Fit, baby.
Oh, two entendres right there. The hat.
Yeah. And I'm right on top of you, baby. I'm right on top of you.
Oh, great. I'll pinch this out. All right.
It is an honor to have you, Paulie.
Mikey, just so you know, because I'm talking to Mikey right now. I'm like, this. I'm telling him to watch the show.
Which Mikey? Now. Mikey Sutton? Mikey's Iron Man?
I said, Mikey, this is my impression of Walter Hamada right now. What he's doing right this minute. Hey, guys. Anybody in the hall? Hello? You want to see my new paper collection?
Is Pink Slips?
No, because they're not going to fire him.
No.
They're going to let him write out his contract.
Yeah.
But they've completely hobbled him. He can't do it. He's not in charge of anything.
Yep.
That's not true. He can always be a witness on the next Amber Heard trial.
Oh!
He did a good job there, man. He completely threw her ass under the bus. I'm like,
hey,
my God.
We liked him on that trial, right? Now we don't like him.
Yes. That was fucking awesome.
Bunch of fucking hypocrites, you.
New
I don't want to hear your shit. All right, what are we talking about? What's going on? Breaking news. Keith of Pop Culture Minefield has been cast as Fidel Castro. Breaking news.
You know what? I'll take it. If it'll get me a nice paycheck, I'll take it.
Wait, who was this cast as the young Castro? Wasn't someone just cast as young Castro?
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco's the young.
Yeah.
Is he even Hispanic?
At Civil War, man. At Civil War right now, in the certain circles that I swim, they've had a shit week. Batgirl is just one of the things, and I'd love to, for us to, talk and see what's going on. But I mean, we all can't get a break.
There is a silver lining. James Franco was cast as young Castro, but Seth Rogen was cast as the mattress he will escape on. Sorry, I'm making a shot at Seth Rogen.
Pat Stevens here every Friday afternoon.
For only 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to get fired.
Let me ask you. Since you brought it up. I mean, what are your personal feelings about the Batgirl film?
Personal feelings are my corazón is hurt. My personal feelings, right? Because I just love Leslie Grace so much, and I think those directors are pretty competent. You ask me personally,
yes,
and knowing how much she put into the role and how much time, 7 months, and there's she shared a lot with her fans. As far as how much she's dived into the role, and kind of like she's done all the right things that we want our leading actors to do, and you don't really hear a lot of her activism on her pages, which is I love even more. Now that's separate, right? Because if I'm not a hypocrite, from what I hear, it was a really bad product. So I don't want that getting out there. And then, so we all have our kind of like, we're coming at it from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a purist, you know that, you know, in regards to these comic book characters.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a garbage product, and by, you know, from what we hear, it was. Zaslav's all about quality. So am I. Yeah, cut it. And I'm glad he did it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Sorry.
You know, it's an earthquake, and it's shaking the foundations of a lot of things. So there's a lot of great discussion going on. So yeah, that's my take on Batgirl.
Okay.
That's a good take. That's a good take, though, because you look at it one way. Damn, first of all, it sucks that we're not getting this actress the time in the spotlight on a film that could boost her career. Same time, if we release this film, it could be the destruction of her career in one full swoop as well, depending on how bad this film was. And the test audiences
and that's
will
the thing we
say,
always got to remember, Stephen. And we got to remember that, Stephen, that we should never be blaming the actors for these bad films. You know,
even Amber, as much as I may not, like her in certain respects.
I don't know. I'm blaming her acting in that trial. That was really bad.
Am I louder than everybody? Sorry, man.
I just think that ultimately, you know, I just don't like the fact, and in my personal opinion, I believe that Walter Hamada really put her in this position. You know, if you cannot provide quality scripts to quality talent, you are doing a great disservice. I totally understand where this director was coming from. This was a nice opportunity, but again, this was still a nice opportunity. You know, I think you should, as David Zaslav's been trying to say, they should be all about quality. You should not be willing to put anything out there that you're not proud of. You know, period. And I believe it's possible. I believe they should be given another shot with a different project. If they want to work their way back around to something, I can think of a few projects they could do.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Paulie.
So, you know, these guys are indie filmmakers. So they'll always thrive in that film festival world. They have they actually have a feature coming out at the end of this month. So I want to see that, called Rebel. Those guys are always going to be creating. There's a couple things that with Cameron Pasha, you know, as far as his theory with their connection to Will Smith, I think it has credence. I do, from what I also heard, not from Cameron, is that their episodes of Miss Marvel also needed some major reshoots. So, you know, sometimes directors, you know, especially coming from the indie world, it's just because they kicked ass on something and then they had the Bad Boys for Life, which was, you know, their shot into the industry. They probably don't fit in, guys. Like not like culturally or ethnically. I'm talking about how they do film.
Yes,
it's probably not a good fit so far. You know, so I you know, they're always going to have a shot because they're always going to be creating their own indie work. So I'm curious to see how that goes. You know,
I agree with you, but I also think there's room. I mean, if you're a comic book fan, there's room. I just think that there is going to be a major difference between working with someone like Hamada and whoever they eventually bring in to head up DC Studios. I just think that based on everything I've seen up to this point, Hamada has made a lot of bad deals. You know, that whole Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, and then not thinking too highly of Joker. That says one thing. And then to turn around and put together some of this material that he was putting together in a hurry, in my opinion, to try to beat out the clock, just so they can have something, which in my opinion is part of where Batgirl comes from. You know, part of the lack of quality is that he was just trying to put stuff out. There wasn't like any attention to Batgirl as a character, and let's treat her nice, and bring in an actress that could do that. That's great. There was none of that. Hamada knew his time was growing short and just started all kinds of mess that he knew he wasn't really going to have to answer for. So, yeah.
No, yeah, man. I mean, on the business end, it's oh man, you got this guy on the panel.
Yeah, I brought my buddy.
I'll see you guys later.
Holy, don't do me like that,
here, man. Some Canadian supremacy happening over here. You and Justice. Fuck all that.
Right.
Quick, I'll get Trudeau on. We'll be
oh, he's gonna be playing Castro, by the way.
So they should have got
playing.
So I'm playing my daddy. Playing.
It is an honor to
What's
have
up, Zax?
Hey, Paulie, how's it going, guys?
Oh, hey, good. So now that we have you here, what is your opinion of the Batgirl situation?
I think it's too bad in that they already invested so much into it, and it seems like it's more of a maybe a signal or something for investors, I think. But most of what I take on this is stuff I've heard from you guys, to be honest. So
yeah,
I haven't done a ton of research on it. I know Paulie was really excited for Leslie Grace, and so he should be. And she's a good actress. She looks great. I think it's too bad to take the role away, but at the same time, if it's a garbage movie, it's a garbage movie.
Did they say though that she's out completely? If they just say they decide to actually put her in a project as Batgirl, let's say in a SnyderVerse project, and they start revamping, I don't think they've said she's out completely though. They just said the film's shelved. They didn't say anything about the actresses, right? Could there be?
Well, it depends on how quickly they're going to try to turn around to use her character. How soon are we going to get back around to this character, given everything else that they're wanting to do? If they're going to shelve this for a while, and I'm talking more than 2 years, I think it'd be fair to her to just let her go so that she's not waiting around for this. She's young, she's talented. She's definitely someone who I can see doing a lot of big things, and I would rather not stand in the way of her career growing. Because
I mean, she's got so many coals in the fire with her music career in Spanish. She's definitely a hustler, and not worried about her young career. If they're gonna do that, they should do it pretty quick. But I mean, it's not a priority.
Can I respond to Mr. Tickletrunk here quickly in the chat? Yeah, he sends $2 Canadian, which is about 75 cents American, something like
73.
that. 73, close. Who's this Zax guy? Get this bum out of here. Thank you for your support, Mr. Tickletrunk, fellow Canadian.
So the long and the veiny of it is you're going to help us out, right?
Can't even buy a coffee with that or make a phone call.
Pretty much.
Can't even afford a Timbit. What the hell, Tickle? What, you know this?
But if I was her also too, as far as Leslie Grace, I would distance myself from this for a while. But yeah, she's such an incredible talent. Listen, we're gonna get more leaks, images and scripts and all that stuff. We'll see if it was bad. I mean, I got a feeling that it was just bad, and that's got nothing to do with
and
talent.
And on top of that, the way that they constructed all of this stuff, if the Flash movie is being altered to the point where the SnyderVerse is coming back, you've basically made any movie that tries to support it in the opposite direction moot. Let's say the Batgirl movie is good, it just doesn't fit with where they were going. That just means that you wait about 4 or 5 years and it'll be on HBO Max.
Maybe, but if you saw the reviews,
another can of worms.
You saw the reviews, even some of the actual script leaks of how the dialogue was. Not only was the test audiences trying to find a way to self-delete respectively, they didn't even want to leave the theater to do it. That's how bad it was, because they wanted out. It was that bad to keep. Yeah. And then you see the other script like, "Hey, it's batting time. I'm out. I'm done."
Yeah,
I'm batting time. Hey, Mr. Tickle Trunk, again for $2 Canadian super chat. We only tease those that we like, and it's true. If I don't tease you a little bit, you either make me very nervous or I don't like you.
Well, I always got to remember that Zach's deleted and are actually supporters of the Latino slant. So I got to curb my my disses on them, because it's like I want them to keep paying. I want the white man to keep paying the
white
brown
man. Keep paying, motherfucker.
Every month. Gringo revenge.
Gringo revenge.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
This is my thank you video. I actually added this specifically for Mr. Tickle Trunk because it is such a mean thank you. It's chill. It's from the movie Get Shorty.
You're squinting like you need glasses. Well, what do you look at me? What? What I'm thinking is, you're mine. I fucking own you. But what I'm not doing is feeling one way or another about it. You see, you're not a person to me. You're an entry in my book. That's all. You're just a guy who owes me money.
There you go. Thanks for the $2 super chats, buddy. I appreciate it, man. And it's always good to see you.
Let me add in one last thing as
Give
far
me
as
that white
Leslie
money.
Grace and any future that she has with DC. Personally, I think she would be better cast as Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, because she's got the look.
Oh, that's interesting.
She could do it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And given the stories that character generates, oh my goodness. I say cast her. I say let her be Jessica Cruz and put her in a Green Lantern movie. And I would, again, I'm of the feeling that I think when Snyder does come back to finish off his 2 films, I can't see him not wanting to use the entire Green Lantern Corps. Hal Jordan, and Jessica Cruz and Guy Gardner and Kyle and Simon. I think he's going to have all those characters, because why not? You're going up against Darkseid.
And by the way, Marcus, I know you're watching the show because you messaged me privately. I don't know why you don't join the chat, dude. I'd love to hear from you in the stream. But I got to tell you, and by the way, hi, Danzig, 1979. Good to see you, man. This is the article in response to the stupid article that came out this morning that we shared that said that Hamada, that DeLuca wants to hire Hamada back to do DC. And it's like, God damn it, man. Fucking be a journalist and look shit up before you post shit like that on your magazine. And so here is the response article. Let me grab it here. Boom. There it is. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, who is also notoriously a shill magazine. DC Films' Walter Hamada was on the brink of exit after Batgirl cancellation. And it's just letting you know he's not in charge. The person that's in charge of DC right now is Michael DeLuca. I know they said Pam Abdi, but the fact is Pam Abdi's really focused on what they're doing over on the other side. His focus, DeLuca's focus, is what DC is doing. And I'm going to put money that he might end up being the head of DC. What becomes DC? I don't know if they're going to continue. It might be DC Studios, DC Cinematic. We don't know what the name's going to be.
No, it's DC Studios. That was part of the presentation. That's the graphic.
Oh, he did say that. Okay.
Yes, it's called DC Studios because that's what he said months ago when he was interviewed. Look, again, this is another edition of Zaslav told you what he was going to do, and he did it.
Before he did it, he Babe Ruthed you, man. Knocking down the park right over there.
Called a shot.
So,
yeah, and
I think there's a lot of good stuff that if they decide to dig into it, I think, 2-3 years from now, all of this other stuff will just be stuff. It'll be in the rearview mirror. It'll be something that, won't mean that much. And I do think there could be a future for Leslie Grace within the DC studios plan, in my
Polly
opinion.
doesn't think so. Polly doesn't think so.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear what you got to say, Polly.
It's not going to happen. She's not going to come back unless it's embarrassing. It's not. She's embarrassed. They're embarrassed. Let them go lick their wounds. You put in 7 months of your life into something, and you're kind of the butt of the joke right now. Not from us. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, she's gonna go do some other stuff. That's what I'm saying. This is a deep hurt for now. Yeah, man.
And they did it on the dude's wedding day.
Yeah, that's
wedding.
That's pretty low. That's pretty low.
Zaslav is fucking brutal.
Hey, you know what? I kind of respect that. This is like I don't want to be on the chopping block of that, but on the receiving end. But in regards to someone was talking about the director of Blue Beetle talking smack on. I haven't seen it. The director of Blue Beetle is Angel Manuel Soto, and from if you remember DC Fandom last year, I watched the whole thing and it was pretty painful. But I saw their Blue Beetle panel and it was pretty amazing because we're so excited about Jaime's family, Jaime's geeky attitude towards other superheroes. And that creative team was I saw really great promise in that. And from what I hear, that movie looks really good. It's a standalone pretty much. I don't think it's going to be messed with. And
it was
Angel, the director is going to be directing a standalone Transformer movie. I mean, that's been there for a minute. So, they don't give a Transformer movie to any schlep. So that's promising. That's very promising. And George Lopez, who's in the Blue Beetle film, I mean, he's like, dude, you're my ride or die. You are amazing. You are incredible. Like, he was praising this director. Not that, it's George Lopez, take it for what it is, but I hope the best for this Blue Beetle project.
We do have a question in the chat concerning Blue Beetle, and since we have Paulie here, I'd like to go ahead and address it if that's all right. Bill Barkley in the chat is asking the panel what will happen with the Blue Beetle film now. My understanding is it's not connected to anything. It's a standalone movie. It doesn't include the Flash or anything like that. So my guess is that it'll probably be fine. I don't think it's going to get shelved or axed or anything. Maybe somebody else has heard something different.
Well, I heard it's closer to being connected to the to Dwayne Johnson's side of things. So it seems to be closer to being tied into Black Adam and Shazam than anything else. Which again, it's, my only thing is you have a particular actress that was hired for this film to be the villain. I don't think you really needed her in creating a character that doesn't exist in the comics. I believe the story of Jaime and his family is strong enough that you didn't need that. To me, you're taking time away from building a really strong story of a young man who has this alien symbiote that has now attached itself to his body and how he deals with it. In many ways, I mean, you're talking about the going down the whole Peter Parker route, which is a good thing if you can develop that part of it.
By the way, we've got a good question here, and I want to address it by Code Raven. Is there an official explanation on what's so bad in Batgirl that it couldn't be shown to the general public? I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's something that's bad about it, although I think there are probably problems with it. But the main issue is the direction that they're trying to go with DC films. They're trying to move in a specific direction, and this doesn't fit the model. That's the major problem. There might be some other minor problems, personal dislikes or things that they didn't want in it, but it's not associated with the SnyderVerse, and they are going to continue and finish the SnyderVerse. That is the direction. We've told you guys that was the direction they're going to go. Hamada, Emmerich fought it tooth and nail and it's coming, whether they like it or not. And this is what happens, and this is what I'll tell you guys, that if there's enough interest in something, you'll get Zaslav's attention. And he knows that the current fan movement is towards Zack Snyder. Even though I have issues with Zack Snyder, and so does Mikey Sutton, we've talked about it ad nauseum, that I don't like the way he handled Superman at all. I don't like the fact that he only does Frank Miller Batman. It's not canon Batman, it's Frank Miller canon Batman. And I'd like to see the other version of Batman, the one who cares. It's not just there to, beat the shit out of people. And I think that's a problem that the Batman had. And I don't know if we may still get a sequel, but I don't think we're going to get a sequel of the Batman. I don't think it'll happen.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Let's just be honest, Gary. If we pay attention to what Midnight's Edge is saying, this shit was woke. It was bad.
Oh, on the Batman?
The Batgirl, please.
Oh, the Batgirl.
And Batman,
I just don't know. He knows more than I do.
Didn't look good. And Keaton did not look good.
Oh, his armor looks fucked up, dude. It looks like a man.
I don't want that out there, man. The whole thing could have been Latino. I don't give a shit if it's just like garbage. I'm just like,
yeah.
Well, everything costs so much to make your
Latinos
family
to look
out.
good. And
I do that myself, but hey, hey now. I'm sorry, that was too easy.
I think ultimately we should, I think what Zaslav's trying to do is he's trying to bring quality to all of what they're putting out there. If they're going to release it, if people are going to pay good money to see it, he wants it to be worth their time and money. And everyone at every studio should want that. Mm-hmm. I believe in bringing in as much talent as you can afford on any project. And the only thing is just make it good. Just make it good. And if it can't be good, then,
This is a good question from Bill.
Yeah, Bill, it seems to me like I think they pretty much almost wrapped on that film. I think it was more than 80%.
Batgirl wrapped April 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So then they did finish shooting it. And what they're doing is pickup shots, possible reshoots. And
wait, the Batgirl?
For Batgirl. If they're doing anything, they were doing either pickups or reshoots.
No, that's done. And then they showed it in June to an audience. No, it's canon.
With finished effects? Did it
Flash? I don't know about that. Flashpoint. Okay. That's a good question. According to different sources, including boy Mikey, I think it's been reshot 2.5 times.
Well, they're trying to.
Sorry, what do you guys think is going to happen with Zack Snyder and the SnyderVerse if they bring it back? He seems like they will.
It's coming back. They're going to let him finish it. And what's going to happen, and this is what I think all of us have pretty much said the same thing, that what he creates, the characters will continue, but his version of it will slowly become just a more DC friendly thing. But they'll use the same actors, same environments, all that shit.
His visuals are great, but his writing needs some work. I think.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah.
Well, I think ultimately he's going to be allowed to finish out Justice League 2 and 3.
Okay.
It's just that at this point he's also having to rewrite what he originally had for 2 and 3 because he let it be known. I mean, he let it out on social media exactly what the plan was for 2 and 3. So now that it looks like that's actually going to be an option, he and Chris Terrio are going to have to come up with a slightly different story for 2 and 3. Based on everything that they put out with the first movie.
And
so
he still
can't wander too far away from that.
To what he's done previously.
Yes. You got to make it all fit.
Another thing that Keith and I both have talked about, and we believe this will happen, is that Zack Snyder does not understand Superman at all. He does not understand that. He comes from a very nihilist background. So Superman is alien to him, not just because he's from another planet, but because, as one of the great directors who made Superman said, there's only one way to do Superman and get him right. He has to be a Boy Scout. And if you try to approach him any other way, torn, conflicted, or any of that, you are no longer telling a Superman story.
You can't approach him like a Marvel character.
There's no dark side. There's no self-doubt. And this is why they fucked up with Jonathan Kent in the Man of Steel film, is because he is the person who establishes that with Clark. He's the one who gives him that thing. And what broke him as a person, it taught him something about how, as powerful as I am, I couldn't save my father. In the film, he doesn't save his father. It's different. It's different. It has a different meaning, and it's not good. That is a bad representation of forming Superman as a person. That what broke him was his father dying naturally, and he couldn't fight it, couldn't save him. And it changed his outlook on everything, and it made him care more. And that was what was so important about that. And Zack Snyder and Chris Nolan didn't fucking understand the most basic thing about Superman.
I think
basic.
Well, I mean, it's also the times, right? The times dictated their insecurity, their lack of confidence in a vision in relying.
I think you're right there, because that was Keith said the same thing. That
I mean, it's very evident.
Yeah.
So why are people so afraid of Superman? It's because they're letting their cynicism dictate their vision. Fuck that, man. He's Superman for everybody. That's it.
So, Naz, I got a question for you.
Sorry for the language.
So you think that him holding Zod's head would stop him from turning his eyes to kill those people? You think that was well written, well planned, logic centered? Do you? There, Naz? Just asking. It's not a perfect film. It's a very flawed film. It has some great moments in it, but the Jonathan Kent aspect and the fight with Zod, I didn't mind him killing Zod. If it's necessary, I think he will do it. But the way he fought him and Zod not moving his eyes to look at the people and burn them was just dumb. It's like, why is he holding his eyes still? He's not moving his eyes.
I think
logic.
That Man of Steel will be part of what gets redone ultimately. As Zaslav was saying, I think these characters, these SnyderVerse characters, especially with both Superman and Batman, I think a lot of their past will be redone.
Oh my God, Polly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
I cried. I cried when the theme came in, when he's rescuing that plane.
Very underrated.
God, I got so emotional. The little 13-year-old that still lives in my body was like, oh.
Poor Brennan Rose.
It's very underrated. It had,
It's filmmaking. It's technical. What are you talking about? Storytelling is technical.
I will say this. The thing that there are a few things about Superman Returns that I didn't care
Have
for.
an argument. Don't come at me throwing words thinking that it means something because it means something to you. Say something that actually has gravity to it. That is not an argument. That's not an argument.
I will say this proves that we want Superman back.
Yes.
Yes.
That's just it. And we want Henry Cavill back as Superman.
Because he understands it. And that's the thing that Keith and I have been talking about. I was about to start that when I got distracted. It is the fact that Henry Cavill is now a star. Okay. He actually has clout. Okay. Yeah. And so therefore, he really needs to fight the way The Rock does. And with Rock's agent, I mean, they're practically Eskimo brothers sharing the same agent the way they are. It's just like, he needs to fight for more control over Superman, because early interviews, and I'm sure all you guys saw those interviews with Henry Cavill, where he starts talking about who Superman is. I'm sitting there going, how come he got it and the film didn't? And the reason why is he had no authority. But now he's getting that kind of clout. He's a star.
Mm-hmm.
He's a movie star, TV star. He's got some clout. And I think that he, as one of the executive producers on that film, for any Superman film, he will guarantee a more accurate, comic accurate Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stood up for Geralt in season 2 of The Witcher to an extent as much as he could. So he will do that.
Oh, as a person too. Yeah, you will. I mean, look, he's not woke, but he absolutely stands up for people if he feels that they're being stepped on, and he won't tolerate that shit. Man, he's just it's a crazy how awesome a person he is when you see these interviews with him and when he's just talking in person, and you think, wow, he reminds me of Christopher Reeve in that way. Because Christopher Reeve held that role of Superman personally, and Henry does too. Because it's such an important, integral part of kids love that character. And you need to make something that's inspirational to kids when you have a Superman film. It needs to be inspiring. I mean, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. I agree.
It needs to be.
You're kind of wrong, but I'm used to it.
Shut up, Paulie.
You have Fat Steven on a panel. That's kind of wrong. I mean,
that's right. I should be canceled everywhere.
But I like it.
Fat Steven is so I feel so comfortable with Stevie. You know, when Steven's with me, I like hanging out with him. He'll, because he'll say things that'll both irritate me and then make me laugh at the same time. He's one of those people that could do that.
I'm just eccentric.
Oh, I am gonna start my first gaming.
You're gonna do game streaming?
I'm gonna start. I don't know if I'm gonna stream, man. I mean, I literally am gonna start Kotar as a freaking newbie.
Nice.
Why would I want anyone to see me?
Well, it can't be as bad as Culture spending 3 days stuck in the tutorial section of Dark Souls. So.
Oh my god! Yeah,
wow, did he stream that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he streamed it. It's sort of like my first time. I streamed the very first time playing in 10 years. Or 8 years, Call of Duty. And I was just getting fucking wrecked live. And I just laughed about it, like, fuck it. I don't care. But I'm, I started getting back to my normal, skill level of playing. I think I
have to be careful because Romy can't know. That's just the only thing.
Oh.
Boy, if she knew I was playing video games back here, rip his computer out.
None of us will say anything.
Just call it research and a review video.
It's research.
Now,
thank you.
No one on this panel will say anything, but I can't say that for the chat. I don't know. Some of them might be narcs.
Definitely narcs. Now, why they didn't mine out the Old Republic for material at Disney, I don't understand, because that game is outstanding and the story is fantastic and it's completely separate. They could have done that.
Kennedy, if she was smart, she would have made an Old Republic series based off of those characters. As well as what is the other series with Star Killer? What is that series called?
They call it The Force Unleashed, but the KOTOR remake project has been on hold, is now put on hold indefinitely.
That's
so
crazy.
I'm happy about
that. That's a character that should have had his own show.
It's easy.
It's not part of the the regular Star Wars canon, but it's
that Gene back up. Yeah, Gene Hackman. Hell yeah.
Oh man, Gene is oh yeah. And what's really funny is, even at the time we complained about it. I remember back in the 70s, all my nerd buddies like, well, he's not comic book Lex Luthor. But then all of us also fucking loved him at the same time. It's like, God, but he's so good. His character is so cool.
Otisberg?
Yeah, Otisberg, yeah. Otisberg, really? Because someone made that joke the other day on one of our live streams. They said to me, Otisberg, Gary? Really? Otisberg? And I cracked up laughing. It was a great reference. What makes you think Snyder won't... Oh, wait. Moss? Moss. What is Moss? I'm not ahead of his time. Everybody wants DC.
I don't know.
Man of Steel.
Oh, Man of Steel. Okay. DC is a lot darker than Marvel. Yeah, it is darker. There's no question about that. No.
Did you
Superman,
guys see the
1978 is 100 times better written.
You guys see the image of Keaton?
The side view
I
one
posted one earlier. He's got boobs bigger than hers.
Yeah, and the
You're talking about
director
the
in the
side
middle.
shot where they're talking to the director in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
That's
armor
the-
looks so fucking ridiculous on him.
Yeah. What could have been?
The thing is, I predict we're going to get some really cool shit now. I won't. I will tell you. Still, I have problems with Zack Snyder. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of his. 300, Watchmen. I love both those. I think his ending made more sense than the original graphic novel ending, which was remake. The giant dead alien in the middle of New York, and it's like, no, you have an active threat. I forget his name. The Atomic Man. What is his name?
That's Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He's a fucking threat to humanity. He was the clear thing that they should have used in the graphic novel too. Mm-hmm. And so that Zach caught that. And I'm like, actually, that's really smart of you to have done that. I thought that was really clever. I preferred it. But my preferred version is the full length cut that includes the animations from the comics.
Yeah. I enjoyed all of that. Look,
it looks like I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Zack Snyder, in my opinion, if I were in charge of, giving Zack another DC character to use, I think he would be perfect with the Question. All of the paranoid stuff in one character. I mean, he's
right here. What he said here, right here.
I think ultimately, you need someone that could really portray someone who's a hero, but who really is paranoid as F. And all of the weird things and stuff that he comes in contact with, and how, technically he's already done that character, because I think that character was the inspiration for Rorschach in the Watchmen comics. I think he would really do well with a Question film. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I got to share this right now. So should I go to he's playing right now? That's funny. And let's be civil in the chat. I know that we get really passionate about some of these things, but just remember, we're all a bunch of nerds. Just remember.
Yeah.
Dangerous nerds and one backdoor nerd.
And that's going to be coming soon. A bunch of my
backdoor nerd
combat veteran friends are getting together to do a show that talks about how people in the military that are nerds, because we already have a skewed view of things as veterans, and then you add the fact that we're nerds, we've got a skewed view of being a nerd too. And I like Mad Mardigan, and I've been talking about it, and I got a bunch of other guys. I'm not a combat veteran. I'm a military veteran, but almost all my friends are combat vets, and they seem to understand it just as well as I do. That being a nerd in the military is really interesting.
Speaking of nerds in the military, then, how's your back door doing?
How is Private Gary doing? I mean, Gary Private's doing.
And in my opinion, Paulie is the only one that gets away with saying that live on the show because of the fact he started it. He started the whole thing.
And it's never gone away, Gary. And it's never going away.
That's thanks to you and Six. You and Six and Paulie ruined my life, Brian. Ruined it.
Hey, the butt flap door is always open.
But Keith and I have already been talking about because we're trying to talk with Danny. Danny's going to be in charge of a lot of the merchandise, and we want to have T-shirts that have cool artwork on the front, and then on the back, right across the shoulders, it'll say hashtag Blame Keith, hashtag Backdoor Gary,
hashtag doing black guy stuff.
Doing black guy stuff.
I want Free Keith. Hashtag Free Keith.
I want one that says, "Are you Toby?"
Hashtag Keith's not black. That's just a filter.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag yes, these are my friends.
Oh, there you go. Hashtag blackogram filter.
Oh man,
everybody.
So
I'm gonna do KOTOR. I'm gonna do KOTOR here on my Mac. I just don't think it merits. I don't think it merits a stream. I think that's.
Fuck it, dude. Don't be afraid. Do it, man. Just do it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna get fucked, your ass handed to you.
Yeah, I'm all good, bro.
If I can get owned by 12-year-olds online, KOTOR should be no problem.
I don't know. I want I'm really excited to start that journey. I don't know about streaming it.
Well, as a member of your channel, Paulie, I'd love to see you stream it.
I could do a membership stream.
Yeah.
You can call it Help Me Get Out of the Menu, featuring Latino slant.
That might be
That's probably what I'm going to end up doing over on Patreon too, is streaming games. Get back into my gaming because I haven't played it for about 3 months. I haven't played in 3 months.
I thought he said screaming at gays.
Screaming.
But, I watched that too.
Hey guys, we are heading into our second hour. That means the show's coming to an end. Holly, I'm so grateful you showed up, man. I love seeing your smiling face. And
Thank
Kyle, I kind of like having you on. It's okay.
Thanks, Gary. It's great to be
You
here.
have a great voice. And I want to point out that video you did the other day talking about the circular studio thing.
The volume, yeah.
Volume. Talking about the volume was a great video because
Yeah,
I wasn't even aware some of those shots were actually in the volume. I usually catch it. And I did not catch that in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it explains why everything felt so fucking canned. And it didn't make sense the way they were moving. It just, and the three, I was like, oh my God, he just killed 6 stormtroopers. 3 more, that's too many.
I mean, and then
so limiting in some ways.
It's a really good video, bro, and it really explains like how Deborah Chow was handcuffed. Because like, man, she's a better
100%.
director than this.
Yeah, and the only thing I have to say to that, as good as that is how come you didn't produce really good stuff like that when you were working with me?
Because I was learning, Gary, and I'm still learning. But yeah, but I wouldn't even do it if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have done any of it. So it's thanks to you anyway.
I'm so proud of you, dude. I love what you're putting out. But I also want to get you. I want you to come on here more often because I miss your voice. I love you. Got a most distinct voice of all of my friends, and I like the way you say things. And I want to get you back on here more often because you're finding your own voice in this. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thoroughly enjoying the videos you're putting out.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, the volume on.
Don't fucking suck up to me, you asshole.
I worked on that one for a long time. Yeah,
Gary's back door is coming.
I know he's getting.
It's opening up. Oh my God, it's opening up.
Yeah,
like a black hole, literally.
No.
Yeah, you can absolutely see it.
There comes a Bitcoin box.
Backdoor and the volume.
Time.
Oh my God, Polly, fuck you for starting that shit.
I would like to end the stream without the image of Gary's ass in anyone's head.
No, it's too late. It's already there. The show's ruined. Oh, what do we got here? Look at that. It's not a porn bot, a Bitcoin bot. Let's I kicked him.
I heard about Gary's coin slot.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm easy to get horny, but if I see someone put a coin in a slot, my shit gets hard. That's actually an old joke from Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
But bot says backdoor.
Yeah.
Hey man, did you make the list for me, or Martin? Martin? ¿Qué tal, mi amigo? Thank you, sir. Muchas gracias, mi amigo. Dragon Bricks, I want to thank you guys for being here. AF Watcher 88, Adega Outlaw, Anima Confuso, Bill Barkley, Code Raven, Danzig 79, Das Wölfen. Das Wölfen, would you like to touch my monkey? Dave Bob, the only guy with 2 first names. Don Ramada, Gap After Dark, King's Porco, Kylak. Kylak is a good friend of ours. Latino Slant Polly, who's on the show, so I'm thanking him twice. Luciano Pereira, thank you for being here. Magitech Mags, of course. Marcos A. Mighty Max, Monkey Jeebus, one of my 2 favorite monkeys. Mr. Tickle Trunk, always grateful to see you, buddy. Naz OG 1000, even though we disagree, thank you for showing up, and thanks for giving us your opinion, man. And everybody, try to remember, respect each other in the chat. Don't get too angry. There's no point in it. Penny J, always grateful to see you, Danny's mom. Rough Girl, good to see you. Scribe Light, one of my favorite other writers. Scummy, Six was here. Thanks for dropping in, Six. Socks Bulletins. The Marshal, the Memes of Destruction. I really want to get him on the show. He's fucking awesome. If you guys ever seen him. The Peter Vinkman fan site, thanks again for showing up. Timbuktu was here. Valzod, and I think that, I don't know who that is. It clearly changed the name because we were talking about Valzod earlier. And War Monkey, my other favorite monkey, outside of the monkeys. Real Wade Nation, dude, Real Wade Nation is so fucking cool. I like him too. What a great chat. You guys are awesome. Anima Confusa, thank you for being here. And also thank you for being my new major internet crush. She's a ginger. I'm done. That's it. She's won me over. And of course, I want to thank the guys on the show. Paulie, thanks for being here, buddy. I deeply appreciate it. Kyle, deeply appreciate you being here. I want you here more often. I love you, man.
Thanks, man.
Justice Seagull.
You love me more now?
That's not really a ginger. That's like really red. It's like scary red. And of course, our good friend Stephen, Deleted Scenes. Thank you for being here, buddy. And again, I want to thank you for talking so much in the chat and not on the show. It's so much better when it works out. But I love you, buddy. And of course, my partner in crime, Keith, who is really the reason why I started doing this shit, and I'm still doing it because he made me get on camera. Don't act like you didn't. Fuck you. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Please subscribe to these guys. You guys share your links in there. Zach's. Who else is Martin? Make sure to share their links. Latino Slants in are good. God, man, Latino Slant, you fucking kill it every fucking show.
What am I killing? What I do?
No, you kill the show. You just make a great show. And I sit there and I'm like, man, are these my competitors? And I'm like, I can't compete with, I'll never be able to compete with Midnight Says. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad that Tom and Andre accepted me as a friend, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I can't compete with what you do. Andre's last video, and if you have not seen it, guys, go watch it.
So
that
good.
latest one, oh my God, the breakdown he did of what's happening at DC was fucking brilliant.
I put that in my my video's description of like the postmortem of Batgirl.
Yeah.
As I said, Keith, if you want that business analytical mind breakdown, go to this video from Andre. Now I'm gonna get in my fifis and cry for a minute.
I'm gonna tell you, there are 4 people who know their shit when they're talking outside of Mikey Sutton. Number one, and got to give credit to Tom, because as much shit talk as Tom does, because he's my buddy, he really does have a nice network of connections in the studio system.
Yeah, he does.
It is something that I lack. I rely completely on my friends that are scoop people, because I don't reach out. I don't reach out to people because I'm weird like that. I don't do that. But I need to start. I was kind of hoping Keith would be that guy, but Keith's not that guy. Keith's not going to reach out to those guys. Yeah, you. I'm talking about you.
Under the bus.
Yeah, I'm throwing Keith under the bus.
I got an announcement when there's a time.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be real quick. Andre, Culture Casino, Valiant Renegade, and Polly have some of the best breakdowns outside of Tom himself.
I listen to all those guys.
Yep. If these are the guys, when you watch our show, we're kind of regurgitating some stuff. We know some stuff behind the scenes that other people don't know. But once again, that's because of who we're friends with. But I got to tell you, I love Paulie's videos, Tom's videos, and Tom makes all the videos for Andre. He's the kid who puts them together. But Tom, when he starts talking, he throws down some knowledge sometimes, man, that just blows me away.
Well, and just starting under his tutelage, Geek Tropology, Pablo is starting to edit some of our videos now, as well as him being on Midnight's Edge Español.
Yeah, I like that. And we've actually been talking about doing something to show our support to the Latino community too, is because I have so many Latinos that work with me. I'm like, you guys need to have your own voice on our channel. Fuck Paulie. Fuck that guy. No.
I started thinking about your bilingual backdoor.
Bilingual backdoor. You're evil. You're so
Come on,
fucking evil.
let me hear it. Let me hear it, Fat Steven.
What was I gonna say? That one cheek is English and one cheek is almost Hispanic.
And I'm going to tell you guys, start subscribing to Zach's, man. Kyle, his channel is so good. You need to sub to him on, because he's, what is it, K204 is your to sub to on Twitter, but on YouTube you go by the name Zach's. And the fact is, I like your breakdowns. I like the way you do things. You're very methodical in how you do your thing. And that thing you did on the volume was fucking brilliant. It really was. And I want to see you do a lot of stuff like that as we go along, because I'm just telling you, man, I like what you're doing, dude. I really do.
Thank you. I've got more coming on that. There's a part 2 that brings into the Book of Boba Fett, which I think actually that technique ruined that show, in my opinion.
That's not there. That's not Zach's link. Sorry. I was trying to help you out, Zach.
Thanks, man.
Who's producing this show?
Yeah. I'm the director. I don't know if I'm the producer. I think Mikey Canal is our producer. He's very hands-off.
No, he's not. He's not here. I'm talking about who's producing right now.
Oh, right now it's our buddy Martin.
Okay.
Santana.
All right.
He's this guy.
Martin's from Venezuela.
And they got a different way of doing things down there.
You need an upgrade.
Nobody told me I was producing anything. What the hell, man?
Get back to Milwaukee in your corner. What are you talking about?
What's up, brother?
Oh, come on back.
What?
But he's the last one I need to thank.
Make
Martin,
your
get back
mind,
up here.
Steven.
Thank you for managing the chat. Make sure to put, there we go. Zach's put it out there. Zach's has a wrench, so he can put it out there. I want to thank you guys for being on here. Paulie, you made my fucking day today. You really did. My face hurts.
I'm gonna make your day right now, too. Big. I'm gonna really make your day right now.
Oh shit! What are you gonna do? Oh,
shirt
God.
off.
Oh, shirt off.
No, even better.
Martin Ricardo Montalban in this sweet Corinthian leather.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Rich. Fucking man. Ricardo Montalban and what's his name that played Zorro? Probably the 2 greatest Spanish voices in film history. I love their voices.
They're up there. Javier has an amazing voice as well.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I really do enjoy him. And anything he's in, and I've watched a lot of his Spanish films. I'll sit there with the subtitles.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, man.
His Spanish films. Oh,
he did this one where something happened in the village they lived in, and they had to deal with it over like 2 generations. What a great film!
Was that with Penelope Cruz?
Yes.
Yes. It's killer, man.
Wasn't that good?
So good. So good.
I actually saw it. I downloaded it illegally.
Yeah. It's a very accessible movie. It's not like, it's not like it's kind of like RRR as far as like ding ding ding.
Well, it's a person. It's a
as far as reading
study.
Subtitles. It's very easy to read the subtitles.
And the subtitles help because it is a character study.
You get the whole name of that movie.
And in reading it, I cannot remember it, but it's a great film.
Really filmed well, man.
Played by a Jewish actor, by the way.
Who's that?
Speaking, what's his name? Played 88 Keys and Dick Tracy. Was on Criminal
Mandy
Minds.
Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin. Thanks, buddy. He played the part of Inigo Montoya. My name is Inigo Montoya. He actually does deliver one of my favorite lines in film history. When the man with the 6 fingers says, "I will give you anything. Name it. Give me back my father, you son of a bitch." And then stabs him. I'm like, oh my God, greatest fucking moment in film history. Fuck yeah.
Don't put the Bitcoin guys on the screen.
Everybody knows.
Who's doing it? You dick. Take that off there. All right, guys. I'm going to play us out. I want to thank everybody for being here.
I wanted to share something. I want to announce something.
Oh, share it. Where is it? Is it down below?
It's right there.
Oh, I see it.
Okay. Bullet Train actress Andrea Munoz is coming to the Slant next Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, my God.
And I've already listened to 2 of her interviews. She's delightful. She's from Colombia. She's going to talk about her ascending career, the film. She plays Bad Bunny's wife. And memberships will get priority as far as questions. And I'm excited to have her on. So that's what you get at the Latino Slant. Come on by.
Wow. Amen. Thank you so much for sharing that, Paulie. Good to hear. Look forward to seeing that, man.
Great job.
So with that said, I'm going to get us the fuck out of here and play us out with our typical outro. But before the outro, for everybody being here, I want to play one of my favorite moments in film history.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
Sounds like
great scene. With that, we're the fuck out of here. Thanks for being here, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow for Saturday morning fun time. Until then, Keith, you want to say something?
And with that,
hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like.
I swear to God, you sound like you need to blow your nose.
The bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.